So let me just start by saying thank you. I am so grateful to you and everything that you have provided me, every ounce of guidance that you have given me. I am just so grateful for all the knowledge that you put out there, and I think and I hope that people really pay attention and they really listen and hear what you guys have to say, or what you have to say, because I think that it's really pertinent to today's society, with everyone just almost seems like everyone has something wrong with them. So I think what you guys and what you're talking about and putting out there is really important. So thank you. So kind of one of the main things that really stuck with me and that made me realize, like, okay, I cannot do this anymore, was my level of fatigue. I cannot remember a time in the past 10 years that I have not been the most tired person ever. I was just always so exhausted. I could sleep 14 hours a day, I could sleep 12 hours a day, I could do the whole just get 8 hours of sleep a day, 6 hours of sleep, like try it all. I've tried it all. I was always so tired, always in a state of fatigue. I was always so grouchy. I just never felt good. I never felt like a normal human being. So on top of that, I never had a normal period, which is so sad because I'm 24. But I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 14 years old. And I was immediately put on birth control. I was 14. What did I know about, like, other treatment? I didn't. Like, I don't think a lot of 14-year-olds at that age take the time to, like, really look into what's going on with them. I thought maybe it was something that I would just kind of grow out of. So even on I've been on birth control for 10 years. Even on the birth control, I never had a regular period. There's maybe a couple months here and there where it would, like, be kind of regular. Like, I would kind of get it in the same week, but then it would just go completely out of whack again. So for the past 10 years, and, like, some months I would have 2 periods, some months I would have no periods. Like, it was just the craziest thing. And so I couldn't even really rely on birth control to do what it needed to do for me. Another reason that I went on the birth control at 14, which I mean sounds kind of like, whoa, but I had really bad cystic acne, and so the cystic acne, like, it hurt to lay my face on the pillow, was how bad it was. And so that was kind of one of the other main reasons I was on birth control, and I was so afraid of going off of it for a while, because not that at one point I didn't, it was like, I don't even care if I get the acne back, but it was so painful. So the fatigue was a huge one, but the no period and the acne are all kind of reasons that I went on the birth control. Recently, like I said, I just kind of hit a wall where I was like, I am sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And so that was just kind of what I was like, I need to do something. Like, I cannot stay on this birth control. I want to have my own children one day. And so I knew that this was something that I needed to start taking care of now, because I don't want to reach a point when I'm older and ready to have children and then say, oh, wow, I can't, or it's going to take me this many years to be able to maybe do that on my own. I've always wanted to adopt, which is a really great alternative, and I think a really important alternative, and it's something that's very near and dear to my heart, and I want to adopt one day. I want to adopt a whole bunch of babies, but I would also like to be able to experience pregnancy just once, if that's a possibility. And so that was something else that I'm only 24 years old. I'm not trying to get pregnant right now, but maybe in the next 6-8 years that would kind of be a goal of mine. So if I can't, then it is what it is, but I want to be able to say I did everything in my power to be able to experience and have a healthy full-term pregnancy. So that was, I'm not sure exactly if it was just a big life change. I had graduated grad school and then got a full-time job. It was just a lot of things that seemed like at once where my life kind of changed, like, in an instant. It felt like it was very overwhelming, and I was like, you know what, at least if I can take care of this, I can take care of myself. I need to take care of myself. I was like I said, there was a lot of big life changes. Graduating grad school, starting a full-time job. It ended up not being a full-time job that I was passionate about, and turned to be a very stressful environment, very unhealthy work environment, and I know that wellness is a lot of aspects of someone's life, and work environment is one of them. And so it was just something that was very stressful to me. And I've never really been a stressed out person. Even going through grad school, I was stressed out, but nothing like what this job gave me. And it really altered kind of my perception and how I kind of dealt with my life outside of work. I didn't really have one. And I've always been someone who was like, I have to work hard, but it got to the point where I was working so hard for a job that didn't give me anything in return. And it kind of took away from my relationships, my friendships, and it was just something that was very hard. So my emotional state going into this treatment was, I was just done. I was just like, I don't feel good about my work situation. I do not feel good about my social life situation. I do not feel good about myself. I did not feel good about myself. I have always been someone who's been very passionate about exercise and nutrition. I got my master's in exercise science, and with a concentration in health and wellness. So it was a very, very hard pill for me to swallow when I was not able to put into my life what I so passionately expect people to put into theirs. Like, I love showing other people how to live their healthiest life in all different aspects, like in all different areas. But it was, like I said, a tough pill to swallow because it was something I could not do in my own life because I just felt so awful. The birth control, I do believe, was making me depressed. It gave me anxiety out of this world. Again, two emotions I had never really dealt with before. So it was very hard for me to kind of figure out how to deal with those. And I had not exercised in so long. I didn't really care about what I ate. And again, which were two things that were, again, very hard pills for me to swallow, especially now looking back at it. But the past is the past. You move on, you grow a lot. So coming into this, I was not sure what to expect. I had tried coming off my birth control 2 times prior, and I had really poor experiences coming off of them, but also my health was not where it should have been for me to come off just like cold turkey off birth control. One time I tried coming off of it, and it made me extremely dizzy. Like, I was really dizzy for like a month, which like sounds really dramatic, but I almost passed out in front of the class that I was teaching one time. And the other time I just got very sick. I don't know what it was. It may have been mental, but I tried coming off of it 2 other times beforehand, and I just ended up going back on it. It was just easier for me to take, and it was easier for me to feel okay, and it was much more convenient, it seemed like, at that time. I was always using, not using the excuse, because it is very real, your emotions are very real, but I just kept telling myself, okay, well, I can't come off of it because I'm graduating in a few weeks. I need to go through and get through my finals, or I just started this new job. I don't want to go off of the birth control quite yet because I don't want to be like a raging mess or anything starting a new job. So that was kind of my emotional state. Again, I did not feel I just didn't feel good. I didn't know if I would have a regular period again, which was kind of disheartening to me, again, because one day I would really like to have my own children, and it was just kind of a lot of what ifs, and I don't think I've ever really done well with what ifs. I like to kind of know what happens or what's going to happen, but I'm living my life a little differently now with different expectations. So but again, it was just a very hard thing for me to do. I was just like, ooh, I don't know, maybe. So I had been following Justin for a while, and I really, really enjoy the information that he put out. I like having a science background, but I also do believe in practical application. So it was kind of neat to see someone who focuses on other things besides just exercise and nutrition. I believe that a person's health is so much more than just exercise and nutrition. And it was, like I said, just really nice to find someone who is putting information out there about things that aren't really talked about. I have worked with multiple coaches who have said, hey, I have PCOS, and they're like, okay, and then they just train me or give me a nutrition plan that does not reflect having PCOS, something that I was looking for to kind of try to help combat that. But Justin, when I found him, the information that he was putting out was just so in depth and just real and raw. And that was something that was very refreshing, because I did not want to keep hearing, oh, it's okay, you can come off your birth control next year, or, oh, it's no big deal, or being treated as if it's like not an issue, because it was an issue, with all the different hormones going on, different hormone levels happening, with everything that's just kind of going on inside your body versus a regular healthy person. It's two different worlds, and it was just really refreshing to find someone who was like, I get it, and I was like, okay, thank you. So when I first joined the program, when I first started working with Justin, my first week was actually kind of rough, just because I got the flu. It was just like but I still felt good. Like I don't know, it was just so crazy. There was something inside of me saying this is the right decision. Like when I started working with him, there was like no question about it that I like not automatically, but I immediately knew that I was making the right decision for my health for the first time in a very long time. And that was something that was really motivating to me. I was like, this is for me. Like, this is something that I am doing solely for myself. And it was just something that I desperately needed at that time. And with no excuses, I just kind of was like, I'm done. Like, I'm kind of handing this problem over to someone who knows how to handle it, and I'm going to work with them, and I'm going to get myself back on track. So when I first started working with Justin, it was just very exciting, but it was also a lot of hard work. It was a lot of changes on my end, but nothing that I did not feel that I couldn't do, which was very nice. Like, it was nothing that was like, you can only do this, and this, or whatever. It was a holistic approach. He really takes the time to kind of get to know you. He takes the time to do things with you that will progress your health at a much better rate versus someone who is just like, hey, how you doing, or whatever. There's a lot more in-depth stuff that goes with it, and it was just so nice to find something that was holistic and really worked with a lot of different areas of my life, instead of just exercise and nutrition. All right. So physically, when I first started working with Justin, oh man, when I first started working with Justin, so mentally I felt great. I was like, this is definitely the right decision for me. This is what I need. I knew it was something I needed. Physically, it was the same. Like, my fatigue levels started going down. It did take a little bit of time, but that's just my body. But physically, I started to feel really good. It was, what was I gonna say? Anyways, I forgot what I was gonna say. Bleep that out. So anyways, how do I feel now? I actually feel like a real human being for the first time in my life. I can literally say I wake up with energy most days, but I'm also 24 and I work and I'm tired. But I literally wake up every day and I feel like a new human, like a real human being. I have energy. After work, I can go to the gym and I'm not like totally dead at the gym. Are there days that are like that? Absolutely. Everyone has days where they're just like, I need rest, or like your rest days are mentally you're just like, okay, not today. I can't today. Your body really tells you what you need and when you need it. And I think that's something else that I really learned was I kind of stopped being in touch with my body because I had no idea what I actually needed. My body has been on the fritz for the longest time. I had no idea how to actually tell what I needed. But ever since working with Justin, I've been able to really kind of be a lot more in touch with what I'm feeling on the inside, because I actually feel like a normal human being. And that is something that I am so grateful for, and I have said it a million times to him, but I am so grateful to be able to feel this way. I am so grateful that I can wake up in the morning, I have energy, I can think more clearly. I don't have brain fog anymore. Well, I do sometimes, but again, I'm 24. But I feel like a normal human being. I can't say that enough. And if you have ever felt a shred of what I feel, or what people with other autoimmune diseases feel, or what people with other illnesses feel, to be able to say that you feel like a normal human being is huge. To be able to say that I can actually sleep most nights out of the week now is huge. I can't, like, for the longest time, I had the hardest time sleeping through the night. I had the hardest time falling asleep at night, or I would not sleep for like 5 nights in a row, and then I'd crash for like 2 days. Like, it was just such a terrible cycle to go through. But now I can sleep most nights out of the week, and I sleep well, and that's another huge thing. I actually sleep, and it's great. Another thing was, my stomach hurt with everything I would eat. I had no idea exactly what, like, why it was doing that, but after working with Justin and really kind of finding those things that were irritating and not irritating, and kind of removing certain things that were making my PCOS like kind of inflame. I don't know. But now I actually can eat things, and I have like normal bowel movements, which is also great. So it's just things that sometimes you don't really think about other people feeling. Like, you don't look at someone, like, you can automatically see that they're exhausted, or that they suffer from some type of internal